5.6 is quadratic regression. So basically, anytime you're given 3 ordered pairs, you can find the equation of the quadratic, like you can find the quadratic equation in your calculator. It'll actually build it for you. So that's kind of a hint. If this is a calculator portion of the test and I give you 3 ordered pairs, even from a picture, you can plug them in your calculator and you're going to end up being able to get the actual equation, even without having to do the whole, like, solve for A, all of that kind of thing. Or you can even check it that way if I ask you to show your work. So in number 1, it gives me 3 ordered pairs. So I'm going to circle all of my X's. I'm going to underline all of my Y's. And I'm going to make a little table. You don't have to do this for every problem, but I just want to show you what we're going to be typing in the calculator. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to go to Add, Lists, and Spreadsheet. So you'll have, kind of looks like an Excel. You're going to scroll to the top where you have A selected, and you're going to type in the letter X. So you're just naming your list X and Y. Now, you will, like if you keep doing this for every problem, you can just overwrite the data, but sometimes it'll store your list, X list, and it'll pop up the same 3 numbers every time. So you could call this like A and B, and it wouldn't make any difference. You could call them any letters in the alphabet. I just use X and Y, and then I'll usually clear my memory every time just to keep it easier. But you can name them anything. I just choose X and Y. So you have to name your list. If you don't, then it will not work. And then in my X list, I'm going to list out my X values. So I'm going to type in -1, 0, and 2. And then in my Y list, I'm going to type in -3, -4, and 6. So once you have your data typed in, you're going to go to Menu, Statistics, Stat Calculations, and I'm going to choose the quadratic regression. So Menu 416. Then it wants me to select my X and Y lists. So I'm going to hit the right button, and I'm going to scroll down to select the little apostrophe X. Don't just type in X, you have to actually select it. Otherwise it's not going to be the right formatting. Then you can hit the tab button to go to the next one. Sometimes hitting the down button doesn't work. Then select Y for my Y list. Leave everything else the same. Don't touch it. All you're doing is changing X list and Y list. And then hit OK. So what it has given me is my A, B, and C values. So my answer to number 1, if I were writing it in standard form, which is all that I'll require you to write it in, it would be Y equals, so this is for number 1, it would be Y equals 2x squared plus x minus 4. Now, if you were actually to do this using like the formulas that we did in 5.4, where I gave you the x-intercepts and then you had to solve for the a value given a third point, you would end up getting like the same kind of answer. So you could always check it. If I give you 3 ordered pairs, you can use this process on the calculator to solve. Yes? So what I want to do, I'm just going to rewrite over it and it's going to change it again. So what I'm going to do now, if I want to do number 2, I'm going to go back over to my list. So I'm going to look at, if I look at number 2, my x values are -1, 0, and 2. But my y values are now 5, so I'm going to just type in 5, -1, and 11. So I'm just writing over it. And I go back over here to the right, and you'll notice that they changed. So you only have to do the menu 416 one time, and then you can just keep writing over the data. So you don't have to do that every time. So the answer for number 2 would be 4x squared minus 2x minus 1. So for number 4, you should get y equals -4x squared minus x plus 3. For number 5, these are typically what you'll see the most in these types of problems. You're just going to be adding more x values. So my angle, that'll be my x, and then my distance will be my y. So you're just typing in more data points. So you should get y equals -0.261 x squared plus 22.591 x plus 23.029. So try typing that in and then comparing your answers.